Robert Frederick White, 19 December 1939, 17 August 1967, Corporal, United States Marine Corps. This reading has a special significance for me, as Robert, known to me and everyone at the time as Bobby, was a classmate here at St. Mary's Catholic School, and in fact, we were fourth grade classmates in this very room. Bobby was a good friend. He was a tough kid and a person who I know became a proud Marine. I have often visited the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, where I stop, I look at his name high on the wall, and remember the boy that I played with, went to school with more than 60 years ago. A life ended too soon serving his country. He gave his all for his country. Thank you, Bobby. Now I'll read the prepared remarks. Robert White was born in Salem, Massachusetts in 1939. In the following year, his parents, Kenneth and Alice Jones White, moved to Newmarket and settled at 28B Elm Street. Robert attended local schools and graduated from Newmarket High School with a class of 1959. He was active in school social events and worked behind the scenes at many dances and drama performances. All during his school years, he was very active and a valuable member of the Newmarket Fire Department, and he served as a foreman of the Tiger No. 1 hand tub, entering in several muster competitions. Immediately after high school graduation, Robert enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. He was dedicated to the infantry and to the Corps, spending 8 years in service. He was on his third tour of duty in Vietnam when he was killed. During his second tour of duty, he received the Purple Heart while wounded on patrol. That did not deter him, as he re-enlisted knowing he would be sent back to the war zone. He ended this his last tour, killed in action with a rifle wound to the neck. He was mortally wounded near Quang Tri, Vietnam, South Vietnam. He was the 54th New Hampshire serviceman to die in action in Vietnam. A solemn high mass of requiem was held at St. Mary's Church on August 26, 1967, after his body was returned to the States. Brisson and Kent Funeral Home went to Boston and transported Corporal White with a military escort. When the funeral procession passed by the fire station, 2 blasts of the all clear was sounded in memory of the departed member of the fire department. The Robert G. Durgan American Legion Post, as well as a delegation from the Newmarket Fire Department and a Marine detail from the Portsmouth Naval Base, participated in the funeral service. After the Mass was done, Corporal White was transported back to Boston, where he and his escort boarded a train to his home in South Carolina for burial. He met his wife, Frances Campbell, of Eastover, South Carolina, on a blind date, and they were married in South Carolina 6 months later. At the time of his death, he also left behind a young daughter, Carol White, who was now married and living in Salem, Oregon. In Newmarket, besides his parents, he was survived by a brother, Kenneth White Jr., and Catherine, who is with us today, and his sister, who is now Mrs. Michael White. Corporal White, the only Newmarket fatality during the war, has his name engraved in the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C., and the town of Newmarket has placed his name on a granite plaque adjacent to the cannon at the North Main Street Memorial Park.